Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. I greet to my lecturer, Dr. Aina Idayu binti Iskandar. I am Nur Ifa Syazwani binti Awang from class BA 2735C, and today I will be presenting my individual assignment, which is article critique for this subject. The article I choose is titled A Key to Dealing with Setbacks and Failures in Negotiation by Kwam Christian, published by Forbes in 2025. This article highlights how negotiators and managers can transform failure into growth. Instead of treating failed negotiations as something shameful, the author encouraged us to view them as valuable learning opportunities. This mindset shift can strengthen resilience, creativity, and long term success in both individual and organizations. The main idea of this article is that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Kwam Christian draws inspiration from Dr. Joshua and Witt's books Getting Back to the Table, 5 Steps to Reviving Stalled Negotiations. The article introduced practical ways to recover from negotiation setbacks through reflection, emotional intelligence, and psychological safety. There are several key insights from the article that I have obtained. Firstly, create a safe learning environment. Employees should not fear making mistakes. When people feel psychologically safe, they are more willing to share ideas and admit errors. Secondly, promote psychological safety. Harvard professor Amy Edmondson found that separating failure from personal faults helps people become more honest, creative, and adaptive. Thirdly, build a culture for continuous improvement. Encourage employees to constantly learn through feedback, training, and experimentation. Fourthly, conduct post negotiation reviews. Managers should hold brief reviews after major projects to reflect on success and failures. Fifthly, recognize and reward growth. Acknowledge employees who learn from mistakes and show progress. And lastly, encourage them to see failure as part of success. Remind them that each mistake is a step toward mastery. From my analysis, this article is both practical and relevant. It connects psychological safety, emotional intelligence, and organizational learning, three major pillars of effective leadership. Kwam Christian's perspective supports the idea that reflection after failure helps teams adapt more effectively. He also points out that shame is the biggest barrier to learning. When we remove shame, people become open to feedback and development. This aligns with the modern management approach that views failure as feedback rather than punishment. Overall, the article represents a constructive and empowering view of leadership, especially for managers dealing with high pressure negotiations. I fully agree with the author's message. Failure truly can be a source of strength when managed with reflection and empathy. A good global example of this is AirAsia under country Tony Fernandez. In its early years, AirAsia faced major financial and operational setbacks. However, instead of hiding from mistakes, the company learned from them, improving its digital innovation, customer service, and cost efficiency. These yearly failures help shape Asia's identity as one of the world's most successful low-cost carriers. This clearly supports the author's point that learning from mistakes builds long-term resilience and adaptability. As managers, our role should go beyond supervision. We must act as coaches rather than judges. This means guiding our employees through reflection and learning whenever challenges or mistake occurs. Instead of assigning blame, managers should focus on helping staff understand what went wrong and how to improve. To achieve this, it's essential for managers to practice emotional intelligence, empathy, and active listening. By understanding employees' feelings and perspective, managers can create more supportive and constructive environment. When this culture of openness and psychological safety is established, failures are no longer seen as something negative. There are three recommendations that I have found suitable to be upgraded for this article. Firstly, provide training on emotional resilience. Managers can organize workshops or coaching sessions that help employees manage stress, adapt to change, and bounce back from setbacks. This improves both personal well-being and team performance. Secondly, practice constructive feedback methods. Instead of focusing on blame, leaders should emphasize what can be improved next time. This approach fosters trust and continuous learning. Thirdly, lead by example in resilience. When managers share their own mistakes and what they learn from them, they build authenticity and trust within their team. This creates a culture where failure is seen as part of the journey, not the end of it. There are several research articles by examining three key aspects, which are agreement, critique or difference, and opinion. This study explores how technology, negotiation, and human resilience contribute to modern workplace and societal development. Firstly, the study sharing personal data via incentive-based negotiation by Kuru et al. 2025 emphasized giving users authority over their personal information. It promotes transparency, ethical data use, and trust between users and organizations. However, the system can be too complex for daily users and real real-world testing remains limited. In my opinion, this study represents a significant step towards more data management. Nevertheless, simpler design features are needed to improve accessibility and encourage harmony between privacy and data utilization. Secondly, punctuated and prolonged. A workers' inquiry into infrastructural failures in bus transit by Krish et al. 2025 highlights the well-being of bus drivers and promotes fairness in transit system. Despite its strengths, the study only focuses on North America and provides limited practical recommendations. From my perspective, this research underscores the importance of valuing employees' opinions. Improved technological reporting and fairer employment practice can prevent recurring workplace problems. Thirdly, the article taking into account opponents' arguments in human agent negotiations by Dr. Kiskin and Itoken 2025 shows that fairness enhances employee satisfaction, trust, and performance. However, it mainly concentrates on a single organization and lacks real-world example. I believe the study reminds us that fairness and respectful leadership foster stronger teamwork and organizational harmony. Moreover, effects of agents embodiment in human agents negotiations by Chakan, Kiskin, and Erdogan 2023 reveals that negotiation cooperation improved through virtual agents and that physical robots create a more natural interaction. Nevertheless, it relies on a small sample of student participants and lacks long-term analysis. In my view, the study contributes valuable insight into human-robot interaction, and future research should involve more diverse groups to strengthen its conclusions. Fifthly, is an effort-aware extension of unsupervised key class identification approach by Penn et al. 2024 enhanced the accuracy and cost-effectiveness of identifying important programming classes. However, it is limited to Java projects and open source systems. I agree that it is a practical innovation that helps software engineers save time, to it should be tested further across various programming environments. Finally, security patching in Lebanon, infrastructuring across failing system by McLean, Cheeson, and Talhope 2024 demonstrate how communities adapt creatively to maintain safety despite system failures. Yet, the findings are limited to the Lebanese context and may not apply globally. I believe this study powerfully illustrates human resilience, showing that collaboration and digital innovation are essential for overcoming crises. In conclusion, this study collectively highlights the importance of balancing technology, ethics, and human values. While technological advancement continue to evolve, fairness, inclusivity, and community remain the foundation of sustainable progress. That's all from me. Thank you.